welcome to the Valmark Back Office Heroes video podcast series. I'm Geoff Moore, Chief Information Officer for the Valmark Financial Group. With me today is Zach Hurst. So Zach, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do at Valmark, and fun fact about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Geoff. Thank you for having me on the program. So my name is Zach Hurst. I'm the Director of Financial Planning at Valmark. I'm actually getting pretty close to my 10-year anniversary, so I've been here for quite a while.
Wow.
And I've done a handful of things at Valmark, as you can imagine, just with the fast-paced, ever-changing industry, right? Mm-hmm. So worked a little bit on the life insurance team, did a small stint in operations, investment operations, and then ended up in financial planning, where I lead a team of certified financial planners, product experts to help assist our member offices across the country. So in between that, I do have a social life. It's one of the things I like. I like about Valmark is it allows us to have a work-life balance. Being from Ohio and living in Ohio my entire life, I would say one of the things I like to do is just enjoy the summer, because we have absolutely terrible seasons here. You know, right now it's December and it's snowing.
It is looking a little rough outside
So
today.
something fun to do is to enjoy the summer in Ohio. So I'd say anything outside, walking my dog, finding a nice patio to sit and relax with my wife and family is always a good time.
Any hiking? Any favorite spots? Northeast Ohio?
I wouldn't say I'm naturally like an outdoorsman. You know, maybe you can tell that by looking at me. But I do enjoy the occasional hike. We have, of course, the national park system in Ohio that I live close to, which is awesome.
Yeah, we do have some national parks. A lot of people don't know that the parks up in Cleveland were somewhat recently added to the national park system. You know, you think of some national parks as being around for, turn of the century, but somewhat newer. Fun fact about Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. Anyway, I could digress about hiking all day, but what else is interesting about you is even before your formal employment at Valmark, you were an intern and you had some exposure to Valmark even before you started as an intern. Do you want to talk about kind of how you even got first, familiar with Valmark? Yeah,
that's a great question. So to go all the way back to the beginning, so to speak, I would say that I initially got interested actually through a Dave Ramsey book about financial planning. It was actually offered in high school as a 1 credit hour course, read through the principles of financial peace. And that actually made me switch my mindset from, maybe more of a medical track into more of a finance or business management track. So found the University of Akron and the CFP program, which in tune connected me to Valmark. And I ended up doing my junior and senior years as an intern, working anywhere from 20 to 30 hours a week and then taking night classes. So when I transitioned from a intern into a full-time employee, it was about as seamless as you could get.
Yeah, because you basically already been doing the job.
I'd already been doing the job. Yeah, I didn't change desks or anything. I pretty much signed up for my benefits, which was awesome.
So you've been at Valmark a long time now, 10 years plus.
Yep.
We've been saying, a lot of people that we've been interviewing mentioned just kind of the longevity here. Why are you still at Valmark, and what have you found interesting or engaging about being here?
Yeah, certainly from a culture perspective, I like the idea that we always tend to be on the cutting edge of the next thing. We are a small enough company that we can make decisions without the entire bureaucracy of a corporate ladder. So that's always a nice change of pace to my day-to-day, because you never know what 2023 or 2024 goal planning is going to look like. The second thing is being able to interact with a team that values the same things that I do. So everybody on the team is maybe a little bit of a nerd, which is fine, but we also like to have fun. And we try to transition that mindset when we interact with our member offices as well.
So you mentioned innovation, and working in technology, I think a lot about innovation from a technology perspective, but Valmark's been pretty innovative in your space as well. Can you tell us a little bit about some areas maybe Valmark's been innovative in the financial planning?
Yeah, I would say our department in general is maybe, somewhat new to the broker-dealer RIA space, where you actually have the ability to get back office support with the financial planning team. So, it was almost like being an entrepreneur, having free range of what direction we want to take our financial planning processes or how we interact with our member offices on a daily basis, via educational materials, the actual plans themselves, or being proactive with phone calls, data mining their book, et cetera. So when I think about where we were at 10, 12 years ago when the financial planning team technically started to now. It is just day and night. So it makes me excited for where we can take it in the future.
That's awesome. If you had to pick sort of like one project or maybe one product or something you've worked on specifically over the last 10 years that you've really enjoyed or offices have gotten a lot of value out of, can you pick maybe one process that you've really liked or enjoyed or found valuable?
Yeah, sure. So we are honestly in a very unique position as the back office support of the planning team, because we don't actually have that direct relationship with the client. So we're somewhat removed in the background, and we ask questions, probing questions about, give us more of the qualitative in addition to the quantitative data that they provide us. So when we look at financial plans, it's always really nice to, on the back end of it, hear how the meeting went.
Oh, right.
You know, so when the rep actually implements said financial plan, here's like the actual result, and here's how they felt after they gained financial security through this plan. So one example that's certainly, you know, dear to my heart is a client whose husband actually passed away. But because of the financial planning we did a year, or maybe it was 2 years prior, the life insurance policy was put in place. We were able to show them through the financial planning process that they could not only afford it, but how it would benefit them if this unfortunate event were to happen. And when it transpired, you know, the results were dramatic, and it was just like kind of one thing to mentally take off of the surviving spouse's mind. So that was pretty cool to hear how that happened.
I love that story. And I think what's interesting about an organization like Valmark is we talk about being a 3-circle firm and like having all of these different levers you can pull, whereas, you know, some other organizations, they might not have access to all those levers, so they might not even put it in a plan.
Living in the 3 circles, you truly have access to the broad range of, you know, financial tools and resources so that you can interact in the client's best interest. If you only have access to one bucket, can you truly? Maybe not.
Tell me about, so you get to, you're in a front-facing role. You get to interact with our offices a lot. What is the one thing you've liked most about working with our offices?
Yeah, I think working with the member offices and learning to understand the businesses that exist across the country is really intriguing.
Okay, so some geographical differences.
Certainly. So doing a financial plan for somebody in, let's say, Florida, where there's no state income tax, is dramatically different than maybe somebody out west.
Okay.
So seeing those differences in the individual clients, as well as just how the financial planners run their practices, is really cool. So because we encourage our member offices to be, you know, independent, they all have their own branding and logos and processes and staff, you know, we get to truly plug into them how, you know, we uniquely can.
Awesome. Zach, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was the Valmark Back Office Heroes video podcast series. I'm Geoff Moore, Chief Information Officer for the Valmark Financial Group. Stay safe.